In this round, we're talking about the Kastking Zephyr BFS Reel. This is one we picked up, I think it was just earlier this year. We like it, and we just want to talk about it. Maybe give you a few pointers as to what we think you may need to get started in, well, an entry-level BFS, bait finesse systems fishing. So some of the key things that yours truly likes is, well, the price point. It's about 79 bucks. The reel can cast 1/16 ounce rooster tails, no problem. Just got to educate your thumb. It's ultralight bait casting, so bait finesse systems fishing, aka I just call it ultralight bait casting because, well, that's what it is. It's a bait casting reel, and you're casting light lures. The other thing is it's got easy spool access. You just undo this thing where it says open close, a little latch here, and then it just twists off, and it's good to go. And because of that, you're able to take your line, run it through, and do whatever you need to get it attached versus having a tool in there trying to get with your fingers into the smallness of the reel itself. Comes with magnetic brakes as well as bull tensioner. And once you have it dialed in, you really can cast a 1/16 ounce rooster tail or other like lure easily. It does have a fast retrieve. In fact, here, let's try doing a quick check here. It's a 4.5 foot rod, and we'll just measure out 4 feet, how many turns it takes to get 4 feet in. So let's see, there's 1, there's 2. Oh wow, barely made it to 1 3/4, and it took up basically 4 feet of the spider wire line. So yeah, fast retrieve. So I like that. The other thing is, well, there are some cons. I would say you have to do some customization to get that 1/64 ounce trout magnet cast, because that's kind of the standard that I notice with BFS style fishing is if you can cast a trout magnet, you're really casting some ultralight lures. And well, this one tends to not do that straight out of the box. You probably have to tweak it a little bit more, maybe to change the spool, do a little greasing and whatnot. But right out of the box, you're gonna have to, you'll struggle with a 1/64 ounce. 1/16 out of the box, no problem. Just some suggestions there to get you there, but basically educate your thumb. The other thing that you have to pay attention to is the line diameter. I use 10-pound test spider wire, which is a 2-pound diameter monofilament equivalent. And what I notice is it'll catch and go under the reel itself or the spool, and next you know you're tangling up. So be careful. It may get caught under the spool. The other thing that it may do is right in the front here, it may get caught in some of these areas as well. So just be careful. Other than that, not had any issues with this one. And I tend to beat up my equipment. So this one, I've used it a season and I haven't cleaned it. No, I haven't cleaned it. It still works well too though. All right, some tips that you want to keep in mind. When you put line on it, don't put a lot of line on it, especially when you're starting out. What I tend to do is I start out with 25 turns of whatever line I'm using. Now I've gone to 30 turns, and I'm able to not worry so much about a backlash, but if I do have a backlash, I can quickly undo it. 120 feet, no problem. All right, so about 120, 130 feet, I would suggest, just so that you don't get spend your time trying to undo the backlash, because I'm still educating my thumb, and it is nice being able to undo that back. Going back to the tension and setting the brake, anytime you change your lure, it is really touchy when you change a lure size, 1/16 ounce rooster tail compared to a super duper, compared to some of the mini crankbaits that I'm using. Set the spool tension to where the line and the lure is dropping at a fair speed, and then when it hits the ground, watch the overrun and adjust the brake so it minimizes that overrun, and then you should be good to go. But again, you got to be able to adjust it on the fly. And then, oh, by the way, when you have that rooster tail, because it's got the little hair and feathery things on it, it's going to be heavier when wet. So when you adjust it, make sure you wet the rooster tail first, and before you do your first cast, dip it in the water a little, because you'll notice, especially when I was first starting out, that I could quickly get into a backlash just because it weighed just a little bit different than the other non-wet or dry weight versus wet weight. Okay, the Kastking Zephyr BFS Reel. Liking it. Use it a season. So far, I've been really happy with it and learning a few things about ultralight bait casting. So give it a try. Let us know how it worked out for you.